Good afternoon. It's a terrible thing to suffer. We all know the pain that comes with suffering, whether it's because of a health condition, if we are having to go through a disease like cancer or something like that. If we have to go to a surgery, we know that there's going to be pain, that there's going to be recovery and hurt that is going to be there. That kind of suffering is not something that we look forward to. We also know that there might be suffering in our jobs. We might have to suffer with getting laid off, or maybe we suffer with not making enough money, or maybe we suffer with a boss who just doesn't treat us well, and we suffer every day. Maybe we suffer because other employees are not nice to us, or they don't respect us, or they don't treat us well. Maybe we suffer in our classrooms because the teacher just doesn't like us that much, or because other students are picking on us. It feels terrible to suffer in these ways. And we know, you know, the ways in which you suffer specifically, and it hurts. It feels terrible. We wish we could avoid it. We would do anything we could to do so. But it would feel really bad if we were suffering for doing the right thing. If we were doing the right thing every single day, we never hurt anybody, we truly were without causation to somebody else, to cause them to do us any harm, and then they hurt us in some way. They caused us to suffer. That would feel even worse, because we think we're trying to do the right thing, and they're still hurting us. But that's what God says to us through the Apostle Peter. He says there is a right way to suffer. Indeed, this is 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 17. Indeed, it is better, if it is God's will, to suffer for doing good than for doing evil. That the reality is, if we're going to suffer, if it's God's will that we're going to suffer, then we should be suffering doing what's right. We should be suffering doing what's good, because then we know that we are doing what's right before God. We have listened to what God says. We have heard of God's love for us, and we have responded with love of our own. And if we're going to suffer, well, then better to suffer while we're doing good than to do evil and suffer retribution that way. If it's God's will for you to suffer, then suffer doing what's right, doing what's good, because God loves you. And so you can do what's good. And if you suffer, then it's okay, because God still loves you. And that will be time for proving His love for you in Jesus. Until we see each other again, the Lord's blessings on your day.